All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Nick from Rightly Dividing the Word of Truth. And I'm taking a step away from theology, biblical studies, apologetics, things of that nature. And you've seen me make pizza on the channel before, but you haven't seen me cook anything else. Well, today I'm going to make an easy, healthy slaw for anybody who's on any type of fast that requires them to not eat meat, but they want something that's tasty, crunchy, full of flavor, and healthy. Let's go. So first of all, we have my ingredients. I have here green cabbage, red cabbage. I have a regular white onion. If you had red onion, that would work. And I have some sliced pickled jalapenos. You could use fresh if you have them on hand. I don't, so this is what I'm using. And then for the dressing, it's very simple. It's simply hot honey, red wine vinegar, some crushed red pepper flakes, pepper, salt, garlic powder. That's it. Couldn't possibly be easier. So we're going to begin by cutting up our onion. So here I just like to slice the ends off. Everybody has their own method, but I take the ends off, I slice it down the middle, and remove the outer layer. Let me just grab a garbage bowl here. Learned this from Rachel Ray many years ago. Just makes it so much easier when you're cooking if you have a bowl or a bag that you could discard your waste in. Okay, so let's get these out of the way. Okay, so we have the onion cut. We're just going to slice it. Now, you could slice it with the grain or against. We're going to go with the grain today. Just make very thin slices, not paper thin, because you want the onion to have some texture. And when you get down to the end, just put it on its side and keep going. Okay, so this is half a white onion. We're going to throw this in our bowl. And then as we slice up the cabbage, we'll determine if we need more. Okay, now you want to take your cabbage. Again, actually I'm not even going to slice this in half. I'm going to just slice a piece off the edge here, because I know I'm not going to use half of the purple cabbage in this. Just take off that outer leaf, and once again slice it thin. Always making sure to tuck your fingers back when you're cutting something. That way, in case the knife slips, you don't lose the tip of a finger. The worst you'll get is a little skin off. All right, so that looks good. Here's our purple cabbage. And you see just that little bit makes a decent amount. So again, we're going to sit there and add that to the mix. It also helps sometimes when you're chopping things, if you have a bench scraper, for you to scoop it up. As a matter of fact, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just one of these. Helps you to get everything off the board, scoop it up easily, continue along. Okay, so now we're going to do our green cabbage. This is going to make up the bulk of the slaw. This is a huge head of cabbage, so we're definitely not using all of this or even half. Just slice down like that. Get that out of the way. Once again, remove the outer leaf. Same deal. I'm just going to slice right through it. And because this head of cabbage is so big, I'm going to slice all of these ribbons in half. Once again, add them to the bowl. We're going to use our bench scraper to get the rest of it. It's as simple as that. Now we'll add our pickled jalapenos. And again, if you had fresh, you could use fresh. Fresh is probably better for this application, but I just don't have them. And I'm going to put the remainder of this jar in just because I like jalapenos, I like spice. And if you got some of the brine in there, no big deal. It just help to enhance the flavor. Okay, so we have our pickled jalapenos in. Now we make the dressing. The dressing couldn't be easier. Now, if like me, your honey's a little bit hard, all you gotta do is pop it in the microwave for a few seconds and it'll loosen right up. While that's going, we'll get our red wine vinegar ready. You don't need a ton, just a little bit. And we'll adjust as we go. If it looks like it needs more once the honey's in there, we'll add a little more. Okay, so our honey's been loosened. There you go, just whisk that up. Now we're going to add our crushed red pepper. Again, you know, I like it on the spicier side, so I don't mind adding a decent amount of that. Then we'll add some black pepper. A good pinch of salt. And maybe 2. And then some garlic powder. Now you can spice this up however you like it. Sometimes I add oregano, sometimes I don't. Today, no oregano, just not in the mood for it. So you just whisk this together. And now we're going to taste it, see if we need to adjust the seasoning. Okay, so for me, that's very sweet. I would want some more vinegar in there. Nice spice to it though, you really get the crushed red pepper flakes coming through. Woo! Much better. The extra vinegar was definitely necessary. So spice level is good, salt is good, black pepper maybe a little bit more. Not much at all. I think the garlic's good. And now we simply add the dressing to the slaw. And like I said, if you got some of the brine from the jalapenos in there, no big deal, it just adds to the flavor. If you had tongs, use tongs to toss it. I have the 2 spoons right in front of me, so I'm going to make do with what I got. And now you just mix it together. And the longer this sits, the more wilted the cabbage will become. So if you like it crunchy, eat it sooner. If you like it with a little less chew, you know, let it sit overnight or for a couple of days. And this goes great as an accompaniment for tacos. You could have it as a side dish if you're eating some barbecue. This will go really good with ribs. I like to eat it just like this, like a salad. So you can have it however you want. It could be a side dish, it could be an accoutrement, it could be the main event. Ideally, I would have picked a bigger bowl.
2,000 years later.
All right, and here's where you taste and adjust your seasoning as needed. I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but very crunchy, very fresh, delicious. Now, it's good. For my liking, with this amount of cabbage, I would like just a little more dressing. So, super easy to do. Just put that to the side, and we'll mix it up again. This time I'll add the honey first, so I could adjust the vinegar accordingly. Now for me, I want more vinegar than honey. I want more acid than sweet. But it's all to your personal preference. So you get that whisking together. I'm going to add a little bit of this brine for a little more tartness. Some more crushed red pepper flakes. A little more pepper. Another pinch of salt. Now, the reason I would suggest seasoning the broth as opposed to the cabbage is it's much easier to coat the cabbage in a liquid than it is just with salt. And after this sits, the longer this sits, the more liquid that the cabbage will release. So, back again, add this little bit of extra. Go, and just continue to mix. And even in the time since I started mixing this, which hasn't been that long ago, you can see the cabbage wilting a little bit. It's not as voluminous in the bowl as it was when it was originally in there. And you could add whatever else you'd like to this. If you want shredded carrot, that would go excellent. As a matter of fact, I often do put shredded carrot in this slaw. If you like bell peppers, throw in bell peppers. Whatever your preference. A nice sliced yellow bell pepper would go great in here. It would add some color, add a little bit of sweetness. If you want to get crazy and throw in some sliced tomato, have at it. It's whatever you like. A slaw like this, it's really whatever the heart desires. And it's left up to the individual imagination. All right, taste it again. I want to get a little bit of everything there. A little of the white cabbage, a little onion, a little red cabbage. Let's get a jalapeno in there. Really good. You get the sweetness from the honey. You get the spice from the pickled jalapeno. Very little bit there. It's pretty mild. But then the black pepper and the crushed red pepper, that comes through and leaves your tongue tingling. You get acidity, obviously, from the brine and from the vinegar. Really good. The garlic powder just rounds it out. I put garlic powder on everything. Salt and pepper are a must. Nothing can taste like what it is if you don't add salt to it. So, very good. And that's that. And as I said earlier, you can enjoy this however you want it. Tonight, my wife and I were going to have it as our main course because we're not eating meat right now. But the kids might use it as a garnish for their chicken tacos or enjoy it on the side as a salad. It's a very versatile dish. So if you're looking to make something that's inexpensive, healthy, and delicious, I highly recommend trying this recipe. Remember, it's simply red cabbage, green cabbage, white onion or red onion if you have it, jalapenos, pickled or raw, your preference, and the dressing is red wine vinegar, hot honey, some crushed red pepper, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Couldn't be easier. And with that said, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. God bless.